sometimes often I see that, sir, like when even many people, like my friends, when talking with me, the differentiate is very much like their words, their vocabulary is very good, and my vocabs are very in a low standard, sir, I think that. And sir, when you also talk with speak with us, your fluency is too much. I don't know, sir, how can I explain in a way. So I also want to be like you, sir, so please tell me the process. I am ready to take the challenge, sir. That's my doubt, sir.
Okay,
And
got it.
how many days?
So, actually, the answer is it depends. For in my particular case, if you look at my overall journey, I have been from an English medium school. So first thing first, if you're trying to compete from a non-English medium background, they might
Yes,
look at, it might look to you as a problem that, I am from English medium. How can I, you're from Hindi medium, regional medium. How can you compete with me? But the problem is, it all depends because I've been trying to, you know, speak in English for the last 15-20 years. That is how
mm,
much time it has taken me. But again, that is not the exact amount of time because if you look at MMDC is all about smart solutions. So the thing that I would like to answer this question with is, if you look at the normal traditional method of improving your fluency or getting better at any particular skill, there is a particular method which is called the 10,000 hour rule. This has been made very, very famous in the last few years, uh, wherein it talks about uh, you spending some 10,000 hours, and that is approximately 10 years into a particular skill. And when you play it like that, you'll become an expert in that particular field. That is
yes, sir.
one particular method, but I would not accept that to be the right method because I'll give you the example of also of 10,000 hour rules. So if you look at Virat Kohli did not start playing in the last 5-10 years. He's been playing since he was a class 8 student, 8th grader. He's playing since then. If you look at Virat Kohli right now, it's a 1% improvement which has happened over 10-20 years. Getting that is one way of looking at it. Look at Sachin, he became good because of 10,000 hour rule, right? Look at Akshay Kumar, he became good because of 10,000 hour rule. That is accepted, right? We'll talk about that, Tathagat. We'll come to your question. That is one way of looking at it. But if you look at my growth, and let me be very,
Yes,
very
sir.
honest in terms of my growth, I have had my opportunities where I had enough amount of English. Most of you have enough amount of English. You're able to understand concepts. You're able to understand whatever is being said. But when it comes to speaking, you have a problem. And that has improved in the last 3 years since I
Yes,
started doing YouTube. It did not even improve in the YouTube particular phenomenon. It improved from 2021. Trust me, MMDC has helped me become something like this. This fluent, this good, this confident. It is all you learners. Last 3 years. So technically speaking, I had the knowledge. I have this. I had the skills. I had enough amount of words, but I was not opening up my mouth. So MMP 43 has happened with me for the last 3 years. Technically speaking, if you look at my video 3 years back, a similar kind of a support. Yes, Tathagat, will talk about that also. So if you look at my particular video 3 years back, 2.5 years back, how I used to create an Instagram reel and compare that to the way I am confident in today's date, it is all because of MMP 43. So if you start opening up your mouth, if you start speaking, and I'll give you the example, I keep on giving this example in the 3-day workshop also. So I give them a simple ground rule. So I say one small thing. See, Deepak sir is almost my age somewhere. There are some people who are my age who are lesser than my age. But if I keep an average, most of you have spent 10 plus years in English. Some kind of learning, some kind of consumption of English has happened. So in my case, it is approximately 30 plus years of learning English. So that is a different ball game. But last 3 years, when I started opening up and speaking, so let me give you the technicalities of last 3 years. For the last 3 years, even if I was not doing anything, I have spoken in 125 batches, 3 hours per batch. That is 360 hours I have spoken in the last 3 years. That is my number. What is your number? I keep it as simple as that. So are you willing to spend that 360 hours? If you are willing to spend that 360 hours, trust me, you will be a different person altogether. You will be very close to what I am. Yes, you'll have to do 10 different other things. We'll be talking about that in the advanced classes or something of that sort of what I have been doing. I've been trying to copy people, but the ground rule is 360 hours. I've been speaking. I've been opening up my mouth. I've been trying to copy different people. I've been listening a lot. I've been consuming a lot. Right? I've been trying to perfect my art. So I've been copying. And third thing I feel, which is most important, which people do ignore a lot, which is basically, are you passionate enough? How passionate you are?
That's true, sir.
I am passionate about English. I love English. I love the respect when you people say that, sir, your English is so good. So just to earn this respect, also, I keep on consuming a lot of English. So if you come to my Instagram channel, if you come to my Facebook page, if you come to my YouTube, particular page, I do 10 different things. Okay, I will. If you come to my Instagram page, you will find that I cannot go to bed. That 1% rule. I've been talking about this 1% rule since the last 3 years, but I've been following this 1% rule for the last since 2013-14 onwards. I came to know about this 1% rule in the year 2013. So imagine
Okay.
I've been trying to do this 1% growth on a daily basis for the last 10-15 years. That is how it is. That is one. But yes, 3 years has changed my life. These 3 years with MMDC has changed my life. The way I'm helping all of you, when you help others, God also helps you. It's also that rule also applies. So try to help more people. 360 hours is the number. If you are looking at the number 360 hours, try to copy and paste from the best of the best learners of the world. Have a passion for things and keep on improving. Do not go to bed. I do not go to bed if I have not consumed approximately half an hour of Instagram content. And when you come to my Instagram content on my mobile, it's all English, 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 English. So that is where I feel my energy is. That is where I feel my riyaz is. Without riyaz, nothing is going to happen. And I'm not talking about long or hard work. I'm talking about smart work. I know if I go to YouTube and if I have to watch a podcast, it will take me 1.5 hours, 2 hours. I do not do that. Rather, I go to Instagram. That even if I've got 15 minutes with me, spare time, I go and consume content in English. I'm consuming and then I'm trying to produce. In front of all of you, I'm trying to produce. Consumption, production, consumption, production. That is what is happening. But this has happened for continuously for the last couple of years, and the result is in front of you. So it's very simple. At the end of it, it's very simple. Success in life is very simple if you follow the core principles, the fundamental principle. I'll just repeat it. 5 things I told you. Number one, 360 hours in the last 3 years. So try to, I'm not saying you can do it in one day, but yes, you can do it in, if you have to eat an elephant, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant by cutting it into pieces. That is how it is, right? You have to break that 360 hours into number of hours. So maybe 1 hour daily for the next 1 year. Can you give that to English? That is my
It is
question.
required, sir. It is required for fluency. 1 hour is must important.
1 hour of speaking. It's
Only
a different
speaking.
thing. The concept of MMDC is 80-20. If you have forgotten, I'm just trying to recall all of that. The rule is
Yes, sir.
80-20. Consumption
Hmm.
is only 20%. Maximum amount should be output. How many hours of output have you created? I have created 80, 360 hours is my output. It's not
Yes,
input.
sir.
Input तो अलग था. Input
Yes,
उससे भी
yes.
ज़्यादा था.
Right.
So 1 hour of YouTube, if you're watching, you have to speak for 4 hours. 80-20 rule is that rule. So at MMDC,
Okay.
we believe that you have to speak for 1 hour. That means consumption तो 4 घंटे हो रहा है. Production जो है 1 घंटे हो रहा है. That if you start doing, I think
Okay.
90 days काफी है भाई. मतलब I don't think beyond of that it will be required. 90 days is more than enough. Right?
Yes.
So that is the gist of it. If you follow it, you will start getting results. It's not that difficult, but yes, it requires a little bit of passion. If you're not passionate, if you don't love it, things will not start happening.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir. It means I have a passion for it to be fluency
Please.
in English. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So it's a step by
Then
step
nothing.
process. Yeah, nothing can
Yes.
stop.
Sir, it means, sir, even 1 hour is also important to speak, because uh, output is more important than absorbing.
Right, right. See, it's not. I will not say 1 hour. I will say now that you've understood the fundamental is MMP 43 karna hai.
Right.
I have given 1 hour आराम से मैं कर रहा था, right?
Hmm.
But if you want your sugar to be sweet, if you want your tea to be sweet, put more sugar into it, right? मैं सिर्फ 1 घंटे कर रहा था, आप 4 घंटे करो ना, मैंने मना थोड़ी करा है. Speak more.
Right. Yes.
Look at all these trainers and teachers who are speaking for 4 hours, 5 hours in the classroom, all in English. Look at the way they're improving. Look at the kind of growth they're having. More
Hmm.
output means more learning, right? So teachers and trainers are improving, so you can do it. It's the tea example, tea and sugar, right?
Right,
Sir,
sir.
I have
So
one question.
please go ahead.
What will be the process of consumptions like reading, listening?
See, there are two methods of consumption. One, most of both of you, which you said, is reading and listening. Got it. That's okay, Sumit. But the point is, if you follow the old method, it's going to be a waste of your time. So this generation demands that you be a smart learner. Uh, Learning the difference between us human beings who are 30, 40 years old and students who are class 3, class 4-year old, the difference is the method of learning. Because you are 20, 30 years old, you know how to learn things fast. And if you do not learn how to learn things fast, then there is a problem. So our submission to all of you is improve the way you learn it, become smart at learning. And that is why we do not suggest that you go and go and consume content which is like boring. Novels, I would not suggest. Newspapers, I would not suggest. I want something that is interesting. I'll give you an example, and that will add one more thing to Rupam's message. Basically, I remember when I was in school and college, and I wanted to improve my English. So I was not reading grammar book. I was not reading the normal novels and things like that. I found that very disinteresting. It was very boring. So what I used to do at that point of time is I was reading Filmfare magazine. I was reading Stardust as a magazine because Bollywood interested me. Then I used to watch a lot of Karan Johar shows. I used to watch a lot of talk shows. I used to watch Barkha Dutt speaking and taking the debate that used to happen on NDTV. So I have been following people like that. I've been consuming from a smart place. In today's date, Instagram is a perfect example. So and we keep on giving to all our learners, this particular thing, that is a list of Instagram reels which you can follow, a list of Instagram channels which you can follow. So Hina, if you're available, can you just send that list? I think we had sent that in BOD. Just please send that to everybody. Let everybody get access to those particular reels which you can follow. So even if you're following that, in a
Okay,
smart way
sir.
for 10, 15 minutes per day, I think you will keep on improving. Improvement is more important, and smart improvement is important. I can tell you that you can go and read this particular book and your English will improve. Boss, it's so boring. Why would I? If I'm a good teacher, I will never suggest you to do that. Right? I will always want that you consume content which interests you. So if cricket is your one passion, I want you to do that. If you love Bollywood, maybe you can follow Bollywood news or something of that sort. I also recommend people to follow their role models. Like if you follow Priyanka Chopra, I have suggested people to go on a Priyanka project. I remember 2 years back, one learner had come from Bihar, and she had a lot of accent, Bihari accent over there. So I said, do a simple thing: go and consume 100 hours of Priyanka Chopra's videos, which are available on YouTube, and go and try to copy her 100%. Do not apply your logic, do not apply your brain, just copy her, plain simple. And after 1 month, 2 months time, she was not having that accent because she was copying. Understand this: you have learned your mother tongue by copying your mom and dad. So mother tongue you have learned by copying, and that is a very big, what to say, hint of how you should master English also. So if you want to improve your English, if you want to improve your accent, if you want to speak like Amit Kumar Mehta, many of you, If you want to do that, you have to start copying the best of the best. Because I have been copying. Copying school tak kharab tha. Abhi copying best hai. Go and copy as many people as you can do it. Consume more. And when you're consuming, spend one more extra minute. Active listening. Active watching. ये नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पर. हम सिर्फ सुन के निकल जा रहे हैं. Some of you were there yesterday with me on the call. I think, I don't think anybody, Keshav was there. No, Keshav was also not there. Keshav and Nazi will come to you. Thank you so much for holding your hands. So I'll give you one logic over there. Yesterday, I was talking to them and I was telling them the Instagram logic, right? The Instagram logic. Most of you are on Instagram. Most of you would have definitely watched Instagram either today morning, today afternoon, or yesterday night. Sometime you would have watched Instagram. Can you recall out of 10 Instagram videos that you had seen, at least 3 Instagram reels that you remember right now? You don't. That is the problem with human brain right now. The human brain has a very big problem. The problem is you don't remember because most of the information that is coming into your mind is going into the dustbin. If you do not write things down, look at what I'm doing right now. This is Amit Kumar Mehta. I keep on doing it. I keep on taking notes because I know if I don't take notes, my mind will forget. That many people are not. And this is called active listening. This is called active watching. This is called active engagement. I do it as a habit because I know if I don't do it, my brain will not remember it. So when you are actually watching a video, when you're actually consuming some content, YouTube or any particular thing, just go and actively watch it, actively listen. So I remember, I'll tell you how I improved my Hindi in my class 10th and class 12th. I had to improve my vocabulary of Hindi. You'll not believe what I used to do. I think you can use this for your improvement otherwise also. So I used to watch Mahabharata. At that point of time, Mahabharata used to come on television, Doordarshan. Most of you are not Mahabharata generation or Ramayana generation, but still, I used to watch Mahabharata with a pen and paper there. When you watch Mahabharata, the older version, you'll find that they're using very, very difficult words, very, very esoteric words, difficult words, complex words. I was writing them all in my notebook. That is active watching. You're not just watching the movie. You're not just enjoying the movie. Movies are not just for enjoyment. You can use that for different purposes. So that is important. That how are you learning is important. Everybody's learning. You open a book, before your examination, you open a book and you just keep on looking at the book for 5 hours. Will your content improve? No, that is what is happening in many of you. In many of the cases, you are consuming a lot of YouTube content and you are believing, you're thinking कि भाई सुधर जाएगा. नहीं सुधरेगा वैसे. If you're not writing it down, it will not. Involve your senses. So look at what I'm doing right now. I'm not just talking to you with one particular, look at how many senses are involved. I'm opening my mouth is getting involved. My eyes are looking at all of you, my eyes are involved. My brain is processing all this information, that is involved. My hands and legs are also moving, and that is also involved. Then I'm noting things down. That is also. I'm hearing my own voice. Look at the number of senses I'm involving. The more senses you involve, the better your retention will be. So when you are actually consuming that content, note things down. Pause the video. Rewind the video. We have told it multiple, but people will still not do it. उनको रहता है हड़बड़ी में की हड़बड़ी में देख के निकल जाए. Pause नहीं होगा. I can still show you my books which are underlined. If I like a phrase, I will underline it. If I like what Shah Rukh Khan or any particular interview podcast is going on, I learn a new phrase. I'm still excited about it. I will note that down. You can open my diary and maybe I'm on the 200th page of this particular diary. I keep on taking a lot of notes when I'm listening to a podcast.
Yes,
कि भाई
sir.
ये concept अच्छा लगा. So if you have that learner, we have that concept of LLL in MMDC, lifelong learner. I believe I'm a lifelong learner. So I keep on learning. English में अभी भी कुछ बाकी है जो मुझे सीखना है. So point is, if you have that kind of a mentality, things will start coming automatically.
Okay.
It will take some time, but the consumption is not just plain simple consumption. Consumption is a process of active consumption. Don't just
Right.
consume mindlessly. हाँ, एक consumption होता है which you can do in the evening while you're going to sleep. If you want to do subconscious learning, it actually works, right? You put your headphone or you put your music system on and you go and sleep. Language is entering inside your mind. Your brain is working at the subconscious level. But come on, that will take a lot of time maybe. But consciously, when you're taking some effort, involving your hand, involving your ears, involving your mind, involving your eyes, that learning will be staying for a long time. Hope I've answered.
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir. I get your point, and very happy to find my reply, sir.
Involve more senses, yeah. So I think we have
Yeah.
answered two questions. Sumit's question is also answered, reading and consumption. Yes, we'll move to Keshav. Keshav is waiting for a very long time, then we'll go to Nazia. Yeah, Keshav, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hi,
I'm
Keshav, how are you?
I am from Darbhanga, Bihar. Currently,
Yeah.
I'm pursuing MBA from IMIT Bharati Vidyapit University, Pune.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is that I feel difficulty in sentence framing, and I also forgot word when I try to speak in English. What is the solution for that?
Okay. Yeah. So we'll come to that particular thing. It's a process, Keshav. It's a process. So it will happen for initial few years. If you look at the number of hours you have spoken, you will feel that you're very fluent in Hindi because you're from Darbhanga, Bihar. You are very fluent in Hindi. But if you do a comparison of your Hindi with your English in today's date, suppose you are speaking out of 24 hours. Suppose you are active for 16 hours in a day. Out of 16 hours in a day, you are speaking in English for say around 2 to 3. Speaking in Hindi for say around 2 to 3 hours per day, right? And this routine of yours of speaking 2 to 3 hours in Hindi, you have been repeating for say last 20 years of your life. The last 20 years you have been speaking for 2 to 3 hours per day in Hindi. Now tell me something. How many hours have you spoken in English like this? That will give you an answer somewhere. So when you started speaking in Hindi, initially, you will not even remember it. A very, very long time back when you were 5 years old, 6 years old, you were facing the same problems. What you're facing in English, you're facing the same problems over there also. But the point is, you have spoken in spite of that. You were making a lot of mistakes earlier. You're making the same mistakes over here also in English. It's a process, and the process will has to be done again and again and again. You have to keep on doing the process. Now, coming back to your sentence formation. Sentence formation can be approached in two ways. One method is you can directly go and buy the grammar book and go and start solving the grammar exercises. 5,000 exercises hai, zyada nahi hai, only 5,000. So you can solve that. It will take you 2 to 3 years to completely solve all these exercises. It will be very, very boring, trust me. The second thing is you can solve these 43 chapters of grammar. It will again take some, no, will again take you some time to do that. And then what will happen is you will not be satisfied and your answer will still not be done. So what is important is that rather than approaching grammar directly, let us approach grammar indirectly. Because once you start approaching grammar indirectly, then your life will become easy. And that is what we are here for, right? So we're approaching grammar indirectly over here. That is what we want to do. So once you start approaching grammar indirectly, what is your job? Your job is to listen and consume the information, more and more of it. Active consumption. If you look at me right now, I've been speaking since around half an hour now, right? Since half an hour, I've been speaking. And most of the sentences, 99% of the sentences which I have been speaking are grammatically correct. Getting it? So there are two methods of actually improving your grammar. One is you can go back to your books or you can consume me. Suppose I'll give you another example. If I have to create a company as big as Bill Gates' company, Microsoft, there are two methods. One method is I will directly go and start creating a company and start building the software like Microsoft did, and I'll start building and start failing and building and failing and building, trial and error, trial and error. That is one method. Or the second method is I'll study Bill Gates. I'll go and interview him. There are 5,000 hours of interviews available on YouTube. I'll go and consume all of that. And I'll try to hack his brain. Because if I can hack his brain, I'll be learning what skills he had and what efforts he took to actually build his company. That is the secret over here. If you are able to understand what I'm saying, you have got the message, right? The message is you can approach grammar directly or you can approach grammar indirectly. At MMDC, we say do not approach grammar directly because 5,000 chapters and 43 exercises is a very, very tedious task. You will feel lonely, you will feel bored, and you will leave the process. Rather, do one thing. Watch web series. Listen to Amit Kumar Man. Watch YouTube channels. Read news on Google. Everywhere, wherever you're finding somebody speaking or writing or doing anything in English, these people who are creating a web series, their English is good. If agar unka English ठीक नहीं होता, those English web series would not be available on Netflix. Netflix उसको बेचता ही नहीं. If the article you read on Google on any particular topic was not that good, was not grammatically correct, Google would not have put it on the first page of Google. Google गधी नहीं है. Google को पता है भाई कि वो important होना चाहिए. अगर grammatically 5 error होंगे तो Google उसको कभी भी first site पे नहीं रखेगा. So again, two methods of approaching grammar, directly or indirectly. If you're feeling your sentence structure is not improving properly, what you have not done in your life is not enough of grammar. What you have not done in your life is enough amount of consumption. Consume more with your eyes and ears open. Active listening. When you're watching that video, do not just watch the video, active listening. When you're reading that article, do not just read the article, active reading. Look for the pattern. पैटर्न रिकग्निशन करना स्टार्ट कीजिए. ये आपने नहीं करा है. ग्रामर करना 2 साल का काम कर सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, बट आई वुड नॉट सजेस्ट बिकॉज दैट्स नॉट अ इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोसेस. So we talked in the workshop, in the 3-day workshop, about Alexandra Stepien, how she improves her language, how she improves her fluency in any particular. She watches a web series, 81 hours she consumes, actively consumes, takes notes, pauses the video, speaks the same word, tries to copy the actor. She does not open the grammar book and yet she's able to track it. That is what you have to do. When you're doing this, things will start moving, right? So just consume more in a smart way. Active consumption. When you start doing it, results will start showing up. So Keshav, this particular thing, I think you're already doing your MBA. A lot of books that you're studying is already in English, right? Number one.
Yes.
Number two, most of this book, if you look at Philip Kotler, if you are into marketing or if you're into MBA, you would have seen Philip Kotler. Imagine Philip Kotler with 100 grammatical errors. Imagine, is it possible? It would not have been the best book in the world if it had got 100 grammatical errors. So even if you're reading Philip Kotler, even if you're reading your marketing books or management books, you're still improving your grammar. You're not realizing it. You're not realizing it. You do not know, you have not looked at this problem from this angle. I'm trying to show you from this angle. Whatever you're consuming as an individual, look at this particular analogy. When you were born, for the first 1 year, you're not able to speak. Because for the first 1 year, you're just consuming, actively listening, actively consuming, trying to understand. You're putting a lot of focus. कि मम्मा ये क्या बोल रही है, इसका क्या मतलब होता है? We're trying to put a lot of focus over there. Observing and listening. That is what you were doing for 1 whole year. And that is what you have to do for English language also. अगर हिंदी को इतना टाइम दिया आपने, अगर अपनी मदर टंग को इतना टाइम दिया, why are you not giving the same kind of time to English also? Listen a lot, consume a lot, but listen and observe. Don't just listen. Listen and observe. When you do that, you'll start seeing improvement. Your sentence structure will start getting clear. Because right now, I keep on telling this. Right now when I'm speaking to you, I'm using the same kind of sentences again and again and again. Many of the words which I'm speaking right now are common repeated words. So it's not possible, if it's not possible without repeating the common words. Because 800 words hi rehne wale. Most of these words are common which I'm speaking. But you are feeling that I know a lot of things. I do not know a lot of things. I have just done the boring thing again and again and again and again. And you have also learned your mother tongue in a similar way. कितने ही words होते हैं आपके मदर टंग में? हिंदी में कितने ही words होते हैं? इंग्लिश में तो BBC का कहना है, मेरा नहीं कहना है. BBC says it. Only 800 words are required. The high frequency, and with those high frequency words, 800 words, you can do 90, 80, 75% of your talking. If you know 3,000 words of English, you know, there's a particular study by NSDL. You can search for it. 3,000 words. If you know 95% of the talking, we use these 3,000 words only. So you just, it's a very small number. You have to just understand कि इस word के बाद कौन सा word आएगा. अगर ये sentence structure मालूम चल गया ना, आसान है उसके बाद. और ये sentence structure कब आएगा? दो तरीके हैं. One is study grammar, which is old, boring, time taking, and the other one is consume a lot of grammar indirectly, like you are doing right now. Listening to me, you're consuming grammar. Your brain is very smart. Your brain is very smart. It is consuming, you know, at a very different pace. So you might be listening to me, but your brain is doing calculations at a very, very different pace. It is able to understand what is what. Problem is you have not consumed enough because आपको डर है, आपको fear है, आपको grammar किसी ने बता दिया, तो आप grammar वाले direction में जा रहे हो. आपको इस process पे भरोसा नहीं. That is why you're not able to, you know, put more effort on listening and consuming. Once you start understanding that this is also a better process, much better than so many people have achieved results from this particular method, then you will be able to get better results by consuming properly. So consumption is important. We're almost winding up the meeting in 2 minutes time. So any other questions people have? Nazia has question. Nazia, I'll try to answer this question. Hina, how do we do it? Tathagat has some questions. So not able to do certain questions right now. How do we do it?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Nazia, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. How are you?
I'm great.
Yes, sir.
Nazia,
Yeah, my question is now I have a fluency, but I am facing like a sentence formation, and also I am facing lots of in a grammar, and I have also some like I feel sometimes I have a like a pronunciation issue. So how can I improve, sir? And I am also sometimes facing in a front of people when I have I'm making a summaries when I talk any topic. That time I spoke, but after that when I want to go outside and normal daily conversation related to our personal conversations like that, that time I'm feeling shy, and my mind is like stuck. I don't have a word how speak, and that this is my problem, sir.
okay, I think we'll have to take this call after this particular meeting. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.